Welcome to the Sideline pregame show, playoff edition. I'm Jake Berry alongside Mark May. And Mark, we've got two teams left. Two teams entered the playoffs for us. We've got two teams left right now in the area round.
Yeah, it's interesting. Of the four teams that went from District 36A into the playoffs, two of them are gone. That's Mission and PSJA, and two are still standing, Nicky Rowe and McAllen Memorial. So they both got good matchups this week against two Weslaco schools. Yeah,
they both traveled to Laredo last week and came out victorious. This week, they're playing against two teams that they've seen before, but haven't seen this year.
Yeah, Nicky Rowe starting off with Weslaco East, and Nicky Rowe's going to be at home, so that's our game for tonight, is the Rowe Warriors against the Weslaco East Wildcats. Wildcats come in having won 7 straight under Coach Michael Burgett, and the Wildcats are a team similar to Memorial in a way. They like to run the football, and that's their bread and butter, so that'll be a tall order for Rowe. They'll have to stop that Weslaco East running game to have a shot at the victory tonight. And looking at some common opponents they have between the two, both have played Laredo Alexander. Weslaco East lost to them, or actually, lost to them early in the year, 28-22. Rowe defeated Alexander in the playoffs just last week, 42-28. They also have both faced Weslaco High School, with East beating them 17-14, and Rowe beat Weslaco back in the season opener 44-41. So both 3-point victories, but both very different kinds of games. At East, with a pretty strong defense, they give up just a little over 14 points a game. So East, a pretty strong defensively team. Let's look at East, some of their main players. Vasquez Ramsey is their quarterback. He's got 5 touchdown passes this year. Again, they don't throw very much, but they do throw effectively. Ramsey, much more effective as a runner. He's had 1,200, almost 1,300 yards rushing and 15 touchdowns. 7 games he's gone over 100 yards. And there's 3 other players with about 475, about 500 yards or more rushing for this team. So Weslaco will spread the ball around a little bit. Russell Garza has close to 800 yards and 9 touchdowns this year. Their leading receiver is also a running back. Hector Muniz has 9 catches, but 5 of those have gone for touchdowns. He's got 9 scores overall. And again, we talked about their defense being really strong. Giovanni Badetta is only a junior at middle linebacker, but he has 99 tackles. That's second on the team, and 3 fumble recoveries. So a strong Weslaco East team.
Yeah, and they lost early in the season 3 games in a row, and ever since have been rattling off wins after that. And it's going to be a tough task for Rowe, but when you look at the Rowe team, they didn't have the end of the season that they would have liked, but they're starting the playoffs out really well.
Yeah, they had a very good game after losing 4 straight to end the regular season, and going in with no momentum at all, and almost no hope against Alexander. They produced a big 42-28 victory, so their offense looks like it's back in top form. They're led by Jonas Ortiz, has 23 touchdown passes this year, had 200 yards and 3 scores that he threw for against Alexander last week, and that's his 6th 200-yard passing game this season. He's also an excellent rusher. He's averaging about 6 yards a carry with 4 scores. Lorenzo Lopez has really gotten strong as he's come back from injury with 9 touchdowns this season, had 3 touchdowns against Alexander. David Savage had a big game against Alexander, 5 catches for 77 yards. Joey Partita had a huge game, 10 catches, 99 yards, and 2 scores in that game. So Joey Partita could be a big target and could be a decisive factor in tonight's game against Weslaco East. Then looking at the Rowe defense, Omar Villarreal leads the team with 7 sacks. James Gomez with a couple of interceptions. Jason Neal, safety, only a sophomore, but leading the team in tackles this year. Jose Alonso, a team captain, is second in tackles from his linebacker position. And speaking of linebacker, we talked to one of the players who's been playing both ways this year, Derek Luna. He's a linebacker and a running back, and has been effective on both sides of the ball for Rowe. He was our interview this week.
Hi, my name is Derek Luna, and I play outside linebacker and wide receiver for the Nicky Rowe Warriors. I mean, it's awesome. I get double chances to make plays. I could get a pick there, I could get a fumble recovery, I could get a catch, I could get a touchdown. It's just fun. We're brotherhood, We have a bond that no other team has. Everybody doubted us, but, we got back up and we fought back. Not a lot of teams got to hit the running backs because of the blockers, so hopefully I get to hit the running back. That's my goal. I mean, we're motivated ourselves. It's round 2. This is what we've been looking for all year. All season we've been working hard for this, so I mean, the work is paying off right now. I love this team. We have a bond, and we want to be the best football team that Nicky Rowe has ever seen.
Welcome back to the Sideline pregame show, and Rowe isn't the only team that's playing this week. we've got McAllen Memorial, but they're going to be on the road at Weslaco.
Yeah, at McAllen Memorial, or rather McAllen Memorial on the road against the Weslaco Panthers. Should be a pretty good game. Weslaco actually unbeaten on the road this year. They've lost a couple of games. The two they've lost have been at home, and Memorial 6 out of 7 they've won on the road. So Memorial is certainly no stranger when they go out on the road. They certainly have played very well there. We saw that last week. They went up to United South, winning that game 31-28. Memorial's won 7 in a row. The Panthers come in winning 2 straight games. Common opponents, they have 2. Edinburgh Vela. Memorial beat them by 11. Weslaco beat them by 16. And then also Nicky Rowe. Weslaco losing to Nicky Rowe in the season opener, 44-41. And then, of course, Memorial beat Rowe 56-27. Looking at the Weslaco Panthers, they're led by Coach Roy Stroman, who's in his first year as the head coach of the Panthers. They go 9-2, so they've had a great year. Jacob Cavazos is their quarterback with 16 touchdown passes this year. This team is different from East that relies a lot on the run. Weslaco is much more balanced in their attack, and so we'll see how that plays out against McAllen Memorial. They've got 2 running backs, Peyton Knobb and the quarterback Cavazos, who have combined for almost 2,000 yards and 35 touchdowns. So they're a very powerful running attack they have with their quarterback and running back combo. Cavazos, the quarterback, in fact, last week, 123 yards rushing and 2 scores in their win over Los Fresnos. So it was 35-28. They beat the Falcons. And then Jaden Cavazos, their leading receiver, he has almost 50 catches for 4 touchdowns, had 6 catches for 61 yards last week against the Falcons. And then looking at the Weslaco defense, Rodney Garza has 3 interceptions. Defensive end Elijah Estevanes has 4 sacks to lead the team. Josh Burkett, a linebacker, 102 tackles, including 16 last week against Los Fresnos. So he's 16, a force. Wow. Yeah, pretty good. And then looking at the Memorial Mustangs, Joseph Lada, their quarterback, last week against United South, threw quite a bit actually. 13 passes completed, 9 out of the 13 for 175 yards and a couple of scores. Then Campbell Spates continues to have a big year, over 2,300 yards rushing, 7 200-yard games and 35 touchdowns he's got on the season. Michael Lewis and Fernie Briones will also carry the ball out of the backfield. They've combined for 7 touchdowns this season. Zion Gregory at the wideout has 8 receiving touchdowns this season, and a big game last week against Laredo United South, 4 catches, 136 yards for 2 touchdowns. And then Nick Nelson, of course, will also see some action. You see his number called as a deep threat as well. So Memorial has a lot of weapons they can go to on offense. On defense, they've been giving up about 23 points a game. That's about the same as Weslaco. And they're led by Chris Sanchez at the middle linebacker. They've got Mike Morales, Leo Caballero at the linebacker spot. Sebastian Turk has 8 sacks that leads the team there. They have 27 sacks, in fact, in 11 games this year. Diego Villarreal, who's been ball hawk, especially as of late. He's got 8 interceptions on the season. And then the other safety, including one game he had 3, I think. Mm-hmm. And Justin Shadis, who also had 3 in one particular game, has 5 interceptions this season. And we mentioned Morales a moment ago, linebacker spot. He's one of the senior captains, and we talked to him earlier this week.
So I'm Michael Morales, and my position, I play linebacker for the McAllen Memorial Mustangs. So as a linebacker, I do a little bit of both in the run and the pass defense. I have to step up for the run, but if it's a pass, I also have to drop back and have my responsibilities there in the zone and the man coverage. This team it's come a long way from the beginning of the season. The mindset has been more like, hey, it's about the team and it's not just about me. And that's helped us have such a great season with our now 10-1 start and off to, like, I think the best start in 4 or 5 years for this school. Yeah, I think we just want to focus on making sure that we know it's just another game. It's playoff football, of course, and we're hyped up, and we've got to be focused about it more than anything. Distractions can be a big factor at this time of the year, especially with all the holidays coming up, and then on top of that, it's a playoff game. But I think at the same time, we need to just stay focused and know that, hey, it's another game, and we just need to win it and move on to round 3.
Kinder. We have many exciting programs, including chess and robotics. To register your child today, call 687-6473. McAllen ISD, my community, my school, mi orgullo. En McAllen ISD ofrecemos prekinder todo el día con programas de robótica, ajedrez y mucho más. Usted podría incluso calificar para prekinder gratis. Inscriba a su hijo hoy. Llame a 687-6473. McAllen ISD, mi comunidad, mi escuela, mi orgullo.
Welcome back to the Sideline pregame show. And Mark, it's going to be a great night for us. Looking to go 2-0 tonight, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it should be exciting. We got Memorial on the road. There are no strangers to the road, playing at the Weslaco Panthers. Big two teams with a lot of storied tradition here in recent years of going to the playoffs. And then Weslaco East taking on Nicky Rowe here at DQ Fan Field. Yeah, they're both going to be exciting games.
Yeah, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, more of a Sideline pregame show.